The gig economy is changing how we work. It's a system where people take on short-term jobs or freelance work. This is instead of full-time permanent jobs. The gig economy has grown a lot in the past decade. More people are choosing to work this way. Companies are also hiring more gig workers. Technology has made the gig economy possible. Apps and websites connect workers with jobs. This makes it easy to find short-term work. Uber, Fiverr, and TaskRabbit are examples of gig economy platforms. They let people offer their services directly to customers. This cuts out the middleman of traditional employment. The gig economy offers new opportunities. It also brings new challenges. Some people love the freedom it offers. Others worry about the lack of stability. One of the biggest draws of gig work is flexibility. Gig workers can often choose when and where they work. This is very different from traditional 9-to-5 jobs. A rideshare driver can decide to work only on weekends. A freelance writer can work from a coffee shop or from home. This flexibility is very appealing to many people. Gig work also offers a sense of autonomy. Workers are their own bosses in many ways. They can choose which jobs to take. They can set their own rates in some cases. This level of control is empowering for many gig workers. It allows them to shape their work life in a way that suits them best. Another advantage is the variety of work. Gig workers often have the chance to work on different projects. They can develop new skills. They can explore different industries. While gig work offers flexibility, it also brings job insecurity. Gig workers don't have the stability of a regular paycheck. They often don't know when their next job will come. This uncertainty can be stressful. It can make it hard to plan for the future. Many gig workers struggle with this lack of stability. Another challenge is the lack of benefits. Most gig workers don't get health insurance from their work. They don't get paid vacation days or sick leave. They also miss out on retirement benefits like 401(k) plans. These missing benefits can have a big impact on a worker's quality of life. They can also affect long-term financial security. Gig workers also face the challenge of constantly finding new work. They need to market themselves and network. They often spend unpaid time looking for their next gig. Meet Sarah, a freelance graphic designer. She loves the freedom of her work. "I can work from anywhere," she says. "I've designed logos from beach cafes and mountain cabins." Sarah enjoys the variety of her projects. She works with clients from around the world. However, she also faces challenges. "Sometimes I work long hours to meet deadlines," she admits. "And there are months when work is slow. It can be stressful." John drives for a rideshare company part-time. He likes the extra income it provides. "It helps me pay off my student loans faster," he explains. John appreciates the flexibility. He can drive when it fits his schedule. But there are downsides too. "The wear and tear on my car is significant," he notes. "And I worry about what would happen if I got sick. I don't have health insurance through this work." Maria is a freelance writer and editor. She left a full-time job to pursue gig work. "I wanted more control over my time," she says. Maria enjoys working on different topics. She likes setting her own schedule. But she misses some aspects of traditional employment. Section 5. Financial roller coaster. The economics of gig work. Gig work can offer financial opportunities, but it also brings challenges. Some gig workers earn more than they would in traditional jobs. This is especially true for highly skilled freelancers. They can set high rates for their specialized services. However, this isn't the case for all gig workers. Many struggle with inconsistent income. The financial reality of gig work is often unpredictable. A worker might have a great month followed by a slow one. This income volatility can make budgeting difficult. It can also cause stress. Gig workers need to be good at managing money. They need to save during good times to cover the lean periods. Gig workers also face additional costs. They often have to provide their own equipment. This could be a car for a rideshare driver or a computer for a freelance writer. They also need to pay for their own health insurance and save for retirement. Section 6. Work-life balance in the gig economy. Work-life balance in the gig economy can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, gig work offers flexibility. Workers can often set their own schedules. This can make it easier to balance work with personal life. A parent might choose to work while their children are at school. A night owl might prefer to work in the evenings. This flexibility can lead to a better work-life balance for some. However, the reality isn't always so simple. Many gig workers struggle to maintain boundaries. When work is always available, it can be hard to switch off. There's often pressure to take on more work. This is especially true when income is unpredictable. Some gig workers end up working long hours across different time zones. This can lead to burnout. The lack of structure in gig work can also be challenging. Without set work hours, some people find it hard to stay motivated. Others struggle to create a routine. Section 7. The impact on traditional employment models. The rise of the gig economy is changing traditional employment models. Many companies are shifting towards a more flexible workforce. They're hiring more freelancers and fewer full-time employees. This trend is reshaping how businesses operate. It's also changing the job market for workers. For companies, the gig economy offers benefits. They can hire workers for specific projects. This allows them to be more agile. They can scale their workforce up or down as needed. It can also reduce costs. Companies don't have to pay benefits or provide office space for gig workers. However, this model also has challenges. It can be harder to build a cohesive company culture with a flexible workforce. For workers, this shift means both opportunities and challenges. There are more options for flexible work. This can be good for those who want alternatives to traditional jobs. However, it also means more competition for gig work. Workers need to constantly update their skills to stay competitive. The gig economy can make it harder to find stable, long-term employment. Section 8. Benefits and protections. What gig workers miss out on. One of the biggest downsides of gig work is the lack of benefits. Traditional employees often get health insurance through their jobs. They also get paid time off and sick leave. Gig workers usually don't have these benefits. This can have a big impact on their quality of life and financial security. Health insurance is a major concern for many gig workers. Without employer-provided coverage, they must buy their own insurance. This can be expensive. Some gig workers go without health insurance. This puts them at financial risk if they get sick or injured. The lack of paid sick leave is also a problem. Gig workers often work when they're sick because they can't afford to take time off. Retirement savings is another area where gig workers can fall behind. Traditional jobs often offer 401(k) plans. Some even match employee contributions. Gig workers have to save for retirement on their own. Section 9. Policy challenges. Regulating the gig economy. Regulating the gig economy is a complex challenge for policymakers. The rapid growth of gig work has outpaced existing labor laws. Many laws were designed for traditional employment models. They don't fit well with the realities of gig work. This creates a gray area in terms of worker rights and protections. One key issue is worker classification. Are gig workers employees or independent contractors? This question has big implications. It affects things like minimum wage laws and benefits. Some countries and states are trying to reclassify gig workers as employees. This would give them more protections. However, it could also reduce the flexibility that many gig workers value. Another challenge is providing social safety nets for gig workers. Traditional systems of unemployment insurance and retirement savings don't work well for gig workers. Section 10. The future of work. Will gig jobs dominate? The future of work is likely to include more gig jobs, but they probably won't dominate completely. Many experts predict a mixed economy. This would include traditional jobs, gig work, and new forms of employment. The exact balance will depend on many factors. These include technology, economic conditions, and policy decisions. Technology will continue to shape the gig economy. Artificial intelligence and automation may replace some gig jobs, but they could also create new opportunities. For example, AI might make it easier to match workers with gigs. Virtual and augmented reality could open up new types of remote work. The gig economy will need to adapt to these technological changes. Economic factors will also play a role. Economic uncertainty might push more people into gig work. This could happen if traditional jobs become scarcer. On the other hand, a strong economy might make traditional jobs more appealing. Section 11. Conclusion: weighing the pros and cons. The gig economy is a complex and evolving part of our work landscape. It offers both opportunities and challenges. For some, it provides flexibility and freedom. It allows people to work on their own terms. Gig work can offer variety and the chance to develop diverse skills. It can also provide opportunities for higher earnings, especially for skilled workers. However, the gig economy also has significant drawbacks. Job insecurity is a major concern. Gig workers often face unpredictable income and a lack of benefits. They miss out on many protections that traditional employees enjoy. The stress of constantly finding new work can be overwhelming. Balancing work and life can be challenging when work doesn't have clear boundaries. The impact of the gig economy extends beyond individual workers. It's changing how businesses operate and how we think about careers.